What's something you used to do as a little kid? Like, what was one thing where whenever you got with your friends or something, you would do? A lot of people would say that when they were a kid, they would do like wrestling and basketball and play video games and football and all that type of stuff. Well, mine's is wrestling, as you can tell by the title. And I'm going to tell you a story about one of the craziest kid wrestling matches. Story time takes place back when I was like 8 years old, and I was over at a friend's house. We'll call him Jack. So it's me, Jack, and then my cousin and his cousin. So we'll give both of them names too. So we'll call my cousin Darrell and we'll call his cousin Andy. So we're all basically like sitting there just kind of like watching WWE, and it almost always happened the same. It'd always be like we'd be sitting there watching WWE, and then one thing will lead to another, and next thing you know, like we're full-blown wrestling. And the thing about Jack's room is that Jack's room is like really big. Like it's a very big room because his family is like more well-off than most. So we start to like basically like stop watching wrestling and we start like actually doing wrestling moves and stuff. And eventually Andy's like, yo, we should just do like a match. So I'm like, all right, like what's the teams? So it was basically gonna be me and my cousin Darrell versus Andy and Jack. So we were like, all right. So we start like introducing each other and stuff and like doing a little wrestler, like jump on the bed and act like the crowd's screaming and everything. So anyway, fast forward. And everyone got introduced or fake introduced, and we basically start to begin the match. And at first it was typical, you know, like we do like clotheslines and like hit each other and basically like knock each other to the ground and stuff. But eventually what we'd always do is like to make the bed into a ring, we'd always take his pillows and like put them under his bed so that we could like pull them out like how the wrestlers do. And we could use them as like tables, chairs, stuff like that. So this time we were using them as chairs. So I take a pillow off and I slap Jack's face so hard with this pillow, he just like falls. And like he gets back up, like picks me up, and body slams me on my neck on his bed, and it hurt real bad. So we're sitting there wrestling. Mind you, his parents aren't home. That's why they never ask like, what's all that noise or whatever. So his parents aren't home, so we're just like throwing each other loud bangs and booms and bows and just like wildness, right? So we're just tearing his room apart. We slamming each other on stuff, and you know, we'll like really be hurt, but we'll be like so into it that we'll like still get back up and stuff. So eventually it got to a deadly move, which this story time is about. So eventually Jack basically had my cousin Darrell, he had him like in the suplex. So, you know, it's like both of you guys are putting each other in a headlock, and then like you grab the person's like pants, and then you basically like pick them up and you fall backwards. So he has them in that. And Jack's bed was like right there. So Darrell has like Jack right there. And basically like they were on the window. So he does a little first squat, second squat, and he goes to like actually lift him. I was actually laying on the bed while Andy kept hitting me with like his pillow. So eventually, so I was basically like sitting there like acting like I was dazed and stuff like that. And then it happened. Darrell picked Jack up and fell backwards. And like, they hit me. The second they hit me, I knew something was wrong. Because like, all I seen them start to fall. And Darrell basically falls directly on my head. Like his shoulder blades hit me straight on my head. So I start like immediately, I'm like, ow, ow. And I look over. Jack did an entire flip. So basically to help Darrell, because he actually couldn't pick Jack up, Jack basically jumped forward. So Jack, he basically goes to like the end of the bed, his back just like I'm talking about like some Exorcist level, like just cracks. And you basically can see like an arc between like, you know, the end of the bed, which I know he's hurt because that part of the bed is wooden. And then he just like falls face first into the like ground. And the whole time, Andy's just kind of sitting there, and all three of us are kind of hurt. But that's not even the good part. The good part is, as soon as that happened, Jack's whole bed just fell apart. Like I'm talking about like the legs just like broke, and then everything just fell. So we all like fell, and we were all kind of hurt, so we were rolling around except for Andy. Andy actually wound up like running outside and running like to the neighbor's house, which was ironically Jack's like aunt. So Jack's aunt, she runs in the house, basically sees like that we kind of trashed his room and broke his bed, and not like, you know, there's 3 kids sitting there squirming and hurt. And she's like, what is wrong with you guys? Why? Like, why? And we were kind of just like, we seen it on TV and blah, blah, blah. So, basically, long story short, Jack's mom wound up getting home. She told all of us to go home and kind of like rest up. Jack wound up getting a new bed, but he also was grounded for a little bit. And yeah, so moral of the story, if you're gonna like play fight or wrestle, make sure you do it in a safe place where you know you're not gonna break anything. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you smash the like button and turn on post notifications and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Boom.